Hey there, Nancy Drew crew. I am Maura, and welcome to another video walkthrough of the Nancy Drew game series. Today I'm playing Curse of Blackmoor Manor, the 11th game in the series. And I wanted to point out that this game differs from its predecessors because it's the first one to take place outside of the United States, with the location being England. So let's go ahead and get started.
Welcome to my latest case, the Curse of Blackmoor Manor.
And of course I'm going to go with Junior Detective.
Dear Ned, greetings from jolly old England. Although right now I'm not so sure about the jolly part. That's because I'm on my way to Blackmore Manor, where the daughter of one of our neighbors is living. The daughter, whose name is Linda, recently married Hugh Pendleton, a British diplomat. Hugh travels a lot, so the only people at the manor with Linda are Hugh's aunt, Mrs. Drake, and Hugh's 12-year-old daughter, Jane. The thing is, ever since Linda moved into the manor, her health has gone downhill. She's practically bedridden, and no one seems to know why. Her mother is convinced something is terribly wrong and wants me to find out what. So here I am, about to be dropped off at a huge centuries-old mansion in the middle of a dark, foggy moor. I can't tell whether the butterflies in my stomach are because I'm excited or just a tad creeped out. Talk to you soon. I hope. Nancy.
Night, miss. Good luck.
Good luck. Sounds like he's speaking a Cockney accent. Whoa, this is Blackmore Manor. Wow, it looks pretty scary on the outside, at least when it's night.
Nancy.
Who said that?
Who's there? Hello?
And then it shows an automatic knocking. What the heck is that?
There's something out there!
Where, child?
Over there! I mean, something was out there.
Come in. I'm Mrs. Drake. I take it you're Nancy Drew?
Yes, and I really did see something, Mrs. Drake. I heard something, too.
Oh, people are always seeing and hearing things on the moor at night, especially you Americans. Why don't you just go on up to your room? It's the one with the moon on the door.
I'd like to see Linda, if I could.
I'm afraid Linda is not quite ready to meet with you just now. But please, come see me after you've unpacked. I'll be in the conservatory.
All right, thank you.
Alright, before we go speak to Mrs. Drake, I want to explore in the room a bit.
A tripod. For a camera, maybe?
Solstitium, equinoctium, autumnalis. These are Latin phrases for the equinoxes and solstices of the seasons. And it's this last page on this pamphlet that we have to look at because it's part of a puzzle. Notice like the locations of these animals, where they are: north, south, west, east, and then the one in the center. It corresponds to the place, to these moon phases here on the coat of arms, and both of those are part of this little puzzle here. So the animals have to be set up with the moon phases of the moon, based on their locations of the four corners of the world as they show on the both on the one map and then on the coat of arms. So like here, the lion has a quarter moon to the east, colored red. The dragon is a full moon, colored red. The lynx is a new moon, so it's just going to be blackened out. And then the rabbit is half moon, colored green. The last one, a fish, is a quarter moon to the west, colored blue, and then it'll open up.
I wonder what this is. This lens is supposed supposed to go into a telescope that sits on a tripod.
Oh, so that's what the tripod's for, this telescope. And as long as I have this lens, I want to show you another puzzle that it's good for right here in this room.
Wonder what goes there.
And look, it's the zodiac signs. Now, before I forget, I want to point out that the phone comes in handy in this game by internet searches that can help us do the correct choose the correct sequences for puzzles in this game, like this one here. So we have to press down the signs from Aries to Pisces. So let me do that. And we can only use the phone for the internet. We cannot send email here because it's too expensive, what with Nancy being overseas. Alright, so let's see, the signs: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. And it gives us this little piece. Looks like a moon piece. Well, that makes sense. There's a moon right on here. Looks like the one who used, maybe the person who live in here, the penguin who used to live in here, liked astronomy and stars. We also have to look at this. This is will be for another puzzle much later in the game. And we also have to look at this. These triangles with different symbols are pointed in different directions for the natural elements of the world. Look, a Newton's cradle. Now let's go talk to Mrs. Drake, who's in the conservatory downstairs. That sounds like a child. It must be Jane, Hugh's daughter. Okay, but we won't get the key until later.
Oh, it's just a parrot. Polly, want a cracker?
Okay, I get the point, Lulu.
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 Latin. I'll take that as a yes. Would you mind translating something for me?
Fire away.
Ruma?
The longest day of the year is solstitium, the summer solstice. The shortest day is Bruma, the winter solstice. Equinoctium vernum is a spring equinox. Equinoctium autumnalis is a fall equinox. Day equals night. Lulu's always right.
Bye, bird.
Lulu. Who's the pretty bird in the mirror?
Looks like John Pendleton may have developed some of the plants that are in here himself. This must be some kind of well, but where's the water? Doesn't work. Probably because the well's empty.
Okay, Mrs. Drake is over here.
Carnivorous plant. Cool.
Okay, but you don't want to get any closer to that plant, otherwise it'll eat Nancy.
All settled in? Good. I'm happy that you're visiting Linda, but I know how much you teenagers like your televisions and loud stereos, so I must insist that you act respectfully and civilly while you stay with us. Since my nephew Hugh is away on business, I am in charge of his household. And if there's one thing I cannot stand, it's noise. Hugh's daughter Jane is staying with us and would very much like to meet you, but please try not to distract her. She has her studies and mustn't be disturbed during her lessons.
What is Jane studying?
What every British schoolgirl needs to know. All of her schooling in the States has left her with, shall we say, a cultural deficit. She's in capable hands now.
Is she privately tutored?
Yes, she is. Just as all Penguins before her. Ethel Bossany comes from a long line of tutors that have taught many generations of Penguins. Now, please, I really do not have time to entertain you. You may have the run of the house, but do not break anything, and refrain from mucking about with items that aren't yours. 2 rules Jane seems incapable of following. And before I forget, our kitchen is being remodeled, so our dining situation is rather unorthodox. I've made arrangements with a local restaurant to deliver meals to us. There should be a programmed number for them on the phone in your room. Feel free to order whatever you'd like.
I'm concerned about that thing I saw outside.
It was purely your imagination, unless you saw a stray dog. But I will not countenance any histrionics about this issue. We have enough to worry about with Linda. And please do not get any ideas about going outside to investigate. I do not want you tracking mud all over this house.
Okay, so yeah, we're never going to go outside the manor in the course of this game, but there is plenty to explore in the manor.
This place must have quite a history. Where can I learn more?
Go see Nigel in the library. He's going to write a book about our family history.
This conservatory is very beautiful. But why isn't there any water in the well?
I'm not quite sure. We never really used it, but it was always full of water. That is until my brother died. And then it just dried up. Most of these plants were brought over by my grandfather. He was quite the adventurer. I remember when he brought back Lulu from the Amazon. At first, Mother wouldn't allow us to play with it because it had picked up too many unsuitable words from sailors. But it gradually learned proper manners.
Can you tell me about Lulu?
Lulu is a very old parrot. She must be over 80 years old. Please be very careful with her, especially if you feed her. Parrots have quite delicate constitutions, you know.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
Do you have allergies, Mrs. Drake?
Oh, yes. Hay fever. Although I'm not full sure what's worse, my allergies or that medication. It makes me feel as if I'm about to float right out of my shoes. Hungry. Ready for some money.
Did you say something, Mrs. Drake?
Not to you, dear.
Wonder what
Kitchen.
happened in there.
Before I go upstairs to talk to Linda, let's talk to Nigel here in the library.
Ah, yes. Are you here from the agency? It's about time.
No, I'm Nancy Drew, a friend of Linda's.
How do you do? I'm Nigel Mulcahy. I'm researching the Pendleton family, and Mrs. Drake has graciously opened the library for me. Nothing much has been written about the Pendletons. Until now.
Why do you think that is?
It might have something to do with their scandalous history. Or perhaps it has something to do with the family treasure.
Is that what you're going to write about?
I'm quite curious about their progenitor, Randolph Ray. He was a brilliant soldier in the 15th century. As a reward for his exemplary military service, he was given the land that surrounds this castle as well as the castle itself. Some say the source of his military strength was a strange stone. Of course, that's all legend, but it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Are there any other interesting people in the Pendleton family?
There are several skeletons rattling about in the Pendleton closet. Take, for example, Eleanor Pendleton, tried and convicted of witchcraft in 1650, quite the height of the witch trials here in Essex. It was rumored that Cromwell arranged the conviction.
But she wasn't actually a witch?
Who knows? Lady Pendleton was a rather vocal critic of Cromwell's policies and helped many of his enemies flee the country. Whether she actually was a practitioner of witchcraft is unknown, although many visitors to the manor during her tenure reported hearing strange, ghostly bells. Some even saw phantom hands floating about the manor, tolling their charmed chimes.
You mentioned some kind of scandal with the Penville family?
Well, having a family member burned as a witch can hardly be considered a mark of pride, I dare say. And then there's the whole business with the Blackmore beast.
Blackmore beast?
It's a story that's been told for generations out here. During the 1600s, many of the villagers reported seeing a strange beast with red eyes and giant fangs prowling the moors. They asked the mistress of Blackmore Manor, Eleanor Penville, to put a bounty on the beast's head. But, oddly enough, she not only refused, she forbade anyone from hunting the creature. It was rumored that the beast was Eleanor's husband, whom she had cursed for finding out too much about the Penville secret.
When I was walking up to the house, I saw something with red eyes that called out to me.
Really? How extraordinary. Are you sure it wasn't just jet lag?
Positive, and I heard it make this kind of growling sound.
Perhaps it was the cursed husband of Eleanor Penville, prowling about the moors in search of lost Yanks.
Very funny. Tell me about the Penville family treasure.
For centuries, the Penvilles have been very secretive. Some believe they're protectors of a fabulous treasure, or of some dark secret.
Who are all those paintings of in the Great Hall?
Those are the Penvilles who owned Blackmore Manor at one time or another.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Tally-ho!
Alright, let's look around here a bit.
Use the door out.
Spuff.
Yeah, that's random. Anytime Nigel sneezes, Nancy will say "bless you" in some different language. May say it more than once, and he'll respond in that same language.
He was a pirate. That would explain his source of wealth. Those manuscripts are very old and brittle. They date back to the 14th century. Though Penville collected most of them, his father, Randolph, and son, Myron, were rather more interested in military victories than in bookbinding. I doubt you'll find much of interest in there. There may be law books. Charles Penville was a prominent judge in the 16th century. Sad to say, he lost his son at a young age, left his estate to his grandson, Thomas.
Now the phone's lit up, probably because it's got new information for us. Yeah, on the Blackmore Beast.
Gesundheit.
Donka. Those are mainly Penelope Penville's collections of French novels. She was a patron to a raft of artists, and her salon was quite popular. She was quite the libertine, even kept her maiden name after her marriage.
Out this way.
Merci.
Now let's go talk to Linda. Muddy footprints. That's interesting.
Linda? Hi, it's me, Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew, our friendly neighborhood detective. Well, welcome to Blackmore Manor. I apologize for greeting you under such unusual circumstances.
And I'm sorry to have to bother someone in your condition.
My condition? What's my mother told you? What her son-in-law keeps telling me? That it's all in my head? That I'm just an unhappy new bride? That I just need time to adjust? I'm tired all the time, my mouth is dry, my vision is blurry. But that's not important. Here's what's important. There are some doors that should never be opened. There are some doors that hold secrets which must never be known. That's everything you need to know. Now
Mommy, can I come in?
no, you're supposed to be in your lessons.
Lessons are over. I want to meet Nancy.
I said no, Jane.
Okay.
That was my stepdaughter. She can be such a pest sometimes. Anyway, I understand you feel an obligation to my mother, but trust me, there's nothing you can do. You're welcome to stay, but I strongly recommend that you go home as soon as possible.
Please, Linda, just tell me what's wrong. Linda? Okay, I'll let you rest. But I'll be back. I'm here for you if you need me.
Okay, so we're never going to actually see Linda during the game. We'll only just talk to her, but she stays behind that curtain all the time. Now let's go meet Jane.
I'm so pleased you're here. I'm Jane. I know you've come to visit my stepmom, but I'd love it if you could pop by whenever you get the chance. Oh, we'll have such fun. Let's play a game.
Sure, Jane. What would you like to play?
Let's play this card game I found in your room. Actually, it's Bridget's room. I mean, it used to be her room. I mean, she died like 300 years ago. You can see a painting of her in the Great Hall. She's the one with the telescope. Okay, so you have to match up a pair of constellations. I made all the matches in 40 tries. Try to beat my record.
Oh, that's interesting. That never happened. First time match. Okay, and so if you we're on senior detective, you have 25 tries, and I probably couldn't do that. It's easier to beat 40.
You beat my score. Felicitations. That was fun. But I'd like to ask you some questions. Sure, what do you want to know?
And I have never made the first match on the first attempt.
Do you know
That's
why she
awesome.
doesn't want to be seen? I think maybe it's because of the lady in black. I was playing in Mommy's room when she wasn't there, and when I looked up, there was a lady all dressed in black putting something on Mommy's nightstand.
Did you recognize the woman?
I couldn't see her face because she wore a cape with a hook. The lady put a note on Mommy's nightstand, but I didn't read it. That's when Mommy started feeling poorly. I don't want to think about that. Let's play a game. It will cheer me up.
Not right now, but maybe later.
You can come in anytime you want, even if I'm not here. I've got some really smashing things. I'm so happy you've come, Nancy. I hope you can make Mommy feel better.
Let's explore around her room a bit.
That's my family tree. Ask me anything about anyone. Go on, ask me.
I'll ask her about a few people, and then I'm going to move on.
Tell me about Randolph.
Randolph the Red, so named for his bright red hair, was considered a hero at the Battle of Poitiers. For his heroism, King Edward III awarded him with the lands in a region called Pemberley. That's how he got our name.
Odo. That's an odd name.
Yeah, he isn't very exciting, really. Like farming and cows. His son Milo is much more interesting.
What about Milo?
Milo inherited not only his grandfather's red hair, but his military prowess. Milo was instrumental in the siege of Caen and was awarded even more lands by Henry V.
Who's James?
He never married, but London. He was very old. A baby was found at the doorstep to the man. He took her in and raised her as his own. That was Eleanor.
What can you tell me about Eleanor?
Just that she was burned as a witch, but it wasn't true, and her father, James, died when he saw her die. And then the family fled to France. I don't want to talk about this.
Who was John, the one who was born in 1873?
He was this huge naturalist who did a lot of exploration in the Amazon. I think there's a plant named after him. Or maybe a monkey, I forget.
Who was Alan?
He was my grandfather, but I didn't know him because he died when I was little. I guess he was nice.
We are going to find something about runes later. And look here, she wrote her name, Jane Penvelin.
Nigel gave that to me when I was in the library once. I think he was hoping it would scare me, but it didn't. I'm too smart to believe in that sort of stuff.
that to make cakes for Lulu the parrot. That's why the ingredients are so nasty. Like I would eat mealworms. Aren't you glad we don't have to use that thing to cook our food?
I saw the kitchen. What happened to it?
I guess you could say I happened to it, but it was Ethel's fault. She inspired me to study the oxidation rates of different kinds of cookie doughs. Only my snippy little experiment got away from me.
What is this book?
Don't know really. Ethel gave it to me. She said it belonged to my grandfather. Do you think Brady Armstrong is cute?
Each of those cups seems to be associated with a Roman numeral.
Who's this? That's my mom, my real mom. She's an opera singer. It's not like she's famous or anything, but she does live in Paris. That was written by Charles Pendleton way back in like the 1500s. When I read it, it seemed really familiar, you know?
And now you want to read it, what it says.
Not but draw upon a strength of absent friends and toast to their memories and happiness and wonder. With the stalwart heart of a knight, let charity be thy guiding angel. Stay firm in knowledge as a dedicated geometer, and fear not the ravages of Father Time. For, dear child, as you learn the lessons of folly, the secrets of this world shall dawn in thy soul.
Let's finish looking around in her room.
I totally love that show. Isn't Brady Armstrong so dreamy? Total hottie.
Why doesn't she mention meeting him?
Looks like you're learning some interesting stuff.
Bet you wouldn't say that if you were the one who had to
From
learn it.
6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Good Lord.
You had a guinea pig?
Yes, but it died.
When?
I don't
When
know.
you don't ask someone you've just met a personal question like that. All right.
Hi, Nancy.
Have you ever seen anything strange outside?
Once I saw my Uncle Roger's toupee fly off during a windstorm. Talk about freaky.
I mean, have you seen a strange animal outside?
No, but I have heard weird noises like this. Howling. But not like a dog howling, more like something human. I don't want to think about that. It's scary enough having to live in this gloomy place.
Do you think there's a treasure hidden around here?
I highly doubt it. I mean, if there were, wouldn't someone have already found it? When I asked Ethel about it, she said that it's the Penville name and heritage that should be treasured.
Ugh, Jane, did there used to be a telescope in my room?
I took it outside to look at the stars. But if you want it back, you'll have to play a game with me.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay, what's the game?
Let's see how quick your reflexes are. I'll time you. If you get the puzzle done in time, I'll return the telescope. If not, then you'll have to try again. On your mark, get set, go! 5 minutes. dining room first chance I get.
The lady in black you saw in Linda's room, did she look like anyone you know?
Like I said before, I couldn't really see her face, but she was kind of dressed like the lady in the Great Hall.
Which lady?
Eleanor. I know it sounds weird. That's why I didn't want to tell anyone. It's too creepy. Sometimes wonder if I just dreamed it all up. Mrs. Drake is always saying I have a rampant imagination.
I should get going.
Au revoir.
Oh, you startled me. You must be Nancy. I'm Jane's tutor, Ethel.
Nancy startled her. She startled us the way she popped out as we came out.
Hello, Ethel. Jane's very excited you're visiting. You're all she's talked about for the past week. Wow, I feel so embarrassed. I didn't think I'd have a fan club all the way over here. Yes, well, I'm sorry, but I'm in a bit of a rush. I need to go over some things with Jane. Oh, I guess I'll be going then. It was a pleasure meeting you, Nancy. Our paths will cross again, I'm sure. There goes my cell phone. Hello?
Hi, Nancy. It's Mrs. Petrov. How is everything? Have you seen Linda yet?
Literally speaking, no, but I did talk to her. Not that she told me anything.
I'm just about at my wit's end. I've never known her to act like this. The last doctor that examined her said that aside from a little dry skin, which is not unusual for her, she was perfectly fine.
Why is she hiding behind that curtain?
I have no idea. When I was out there last week, I got fed up and pulled the curtain back. She threw a fit, but otherwise she looked absolutely normal. A little pale, perhaps, but who wouldn't be pale, cooked up like that? Something has changed her. Something in that house. Hugh is just as bewildered and upset by her behavior as I am. Please get to the bottom of this, Nancy. You're our last hope.
Where is Hugh?
He was called to Rome. As a diplomat, he's always being called out of the country without warning and without any say in the matter. He'd much rather be there with Linda, although...
Mrs. Petrov? Are you there?
It's just that Hugh said it hasn't been very easy for him to talk to her lately. Whenever he calls, which is at least once a day, Linda always seems to fly off the handle for no reason, which doesn't make sense. Linda has always been extremely level-headed and even-tempered. She never gets angry. At least she didn't used to.
Who exactly is Mrs. Drake?
She's Hugh's aunt. She's taken care of Blackmore Manor ever since her brother died. He was Hugh's father. She's a bit of a character.
In what way?
The way she spends all her time in that conservatory, slouching around, trowel in hand, murmuring to herself. You'd think she was burying something. Or somebody.
Goodbye, Mrs. Petrov.
Goodbye, Nancy. Oh, one more thing. My niece is on call and her husband's out of town, and I told her I'd go over there and babysit if she had to work. So if you call and I don't answer, that's why. Bye.
Okay,
Do you mind if I use this computer?
No, not at all. But it's very old. Feel free to use mine if I'm not here.
Who's Alan?
Alan Pendleton was a noted researcher in computers and languages. Jane let me into his computer, but there was nothing much of interest on it.
What's the password?
I'm not sure.
now let's try talking to Linda again.
I'm sorry to bother you again, but Jane told me about the lady in black.
What lady in black? Jane never said anything to me about a lady in black. That kid is so weird. I just don't get her.
She seems very concerned about you.
Yes, I know. I just don't know how to be a stepmother to her. She's just so strange. Look, just forget about me. You can't help me, and that's that. I'm sorry.
Linda, you have to give me a chance. Everyone is so worried about you. If you just tell me what's happened, maybe I could help. Linda, I made a promise to your mother, and I plan to keep it. I'm here for you when you need me.
Okay, let's see if Jane put the telescope back and if I can use it with the lens. And before I forget, let me call some food in.
Bullhead Pub, this is Tommy.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew. I'm supposed to call you if I want some food.
Right. Nancy Drew, out at the old Blackmore Manor, are you? You must be Hank Marvin up there. Pity about your kitchen, but we'll fix you up for some vexing posh. Just tell me what you like.
Okay. What do you have?
We've got some loop-de-loop, bangers and mash, a real fine pinky and turkey, and a delicious dog's eye, me fork and knife, just rub it up.
What did he say?
Hello?
Hello?
Repeat that.
Sure, we've got some loop-de-loop, bangers and mash, pinky and turkey, and a dog's eye, and they're all Robin Hood.
I'd like some pinky and perky, please.
Good choice. Uncle Fred and Johnny Rudder?
Okay.
All right then. We'll come round and leave it at your Rory. Oh, and we've got no hot potato about, so it may take a bit. But we'll have it up to you in no time. Fish and taters.
Cool. There are symbols in that mural that I couldn't see before.
Oh, interesting. Before I forget, here's something. And yes, this is a puzzle. We have to pull these levers in the order in which we walked up the stairs, and here's what it is. It spells out bad caddy. Could it be a reference to Caddy? Even though it's not spelled the same, is it a reference to Caddy, the mythical character from Danger on Deception Island? Huh, wonder where this key goes. Oh, that looks like a keyhole.
The key fits, but it won't turn. I need to put some kind of grease in there first.
Okay, so those symbols that we saw, they're right here on this little game.
It stopped working.
Well, let's go ask Mrs. Drake about it. Oh, interesting. When you first speak to Mrs. Drake, or rather after you do, she always by default says who's hungry, who's ready for some nummies, but other times you may catch her randomly at different times saying different things, talking to her plants again. And, well, there I got one. So, glad to see that. Now I have it to record permanently.
Yes?
I'd like to play the card machine in the Great Hall, but it's broken.
It's not broken. I removed its crank, as it was proving to be too much of a distraction for Jane. I suppose I could see where it's gone to. But in the meantime, be a dear and do something for me, would you?
Sure.
Do you see that hodgepodge of plants over there? They're my prize seedlings. I had them perfectly arranged in that box, so I could easily move them about to catch the light. Unfortunately, Jane took all of them out when I wasn't looking. And now, for the life of me, I cannot get them back in the box, so that they all fit. Why don't you give it a try while I see about that crank? If we both succeed, we shall both be happy, if you catch my meaning. Remember, they must all fit in that box.
Okay, so, yeah, they have to fit perfectly. When you see a hand, it means that you can put them there, but if you don't, they'll just, like, go back.
There.
Ah!
Hey, maybe I should try feeding it something.
Yeah, since she's still not there, we have to leave the conservatory and then come back to find her there to ask for the crank. But, which is kind of weird, because when does she have time to get moved back there when we don't see her?
Yes?
I spoke with Mr. Tucker at the Boar's Head pub, but frankly, I'm not at all sure what he said.
Yes, his language is quite colourful, isn't it? He's Cockney, you see. My brother Alan and I loved to make up Cockney rhymes when we were young. We'd drive our governess quite batty. Haven't got a pot of glue, haven't got a pot of glue. Oh, how we teased her.
Pot of glue?
A clue, dear. Haven't got a clue. Rhymes with glue, you see.
The picture book in Jane's room. Do you know much about its history?
My brother Alan found it somewhere in the house. He was quite fascinated by it, but he'd never let me look at it.
What was your brother Alan like?
He was quite remarkable. He taught linguistics and computer science and won many prestigious awards. He loved games, especially pranks, and was forever tinkering with this and that. I do miss him sometimes, but now he's gone. He died a month after my husband passed away, and ever since I've been here all alone, until Hugh came back from the United States, that is.
Do you know what the password is for the computer in the library?
No, that was my brother's toy.
I managed to get all those seedlings back in the box.
Wonderful. And I managed to find that crank. There you go.
Great, thank you. Goodbye.
Good evening. Why, look, another shoot. What a good Philistine you are.
Another conversation. I never thought I'd capture that, but hey, I did. Alright. So, take the crank. And to get it started with winning and to win a prize,
Those symbols look familiar.
yeah, they're from that tapestry that we saw using the lens. We have to push them in the correct sequence to be able to win the prize. So I think, what is it? Sad face, parrot, harp, flute, happy face, and then press this button.
Maybe she'll give that to me if I win.
So this game is like Go Fish, where you get 3 of a kind rather than pairs. And when you have a card that when Betty has a card that you select, she'll put her hand over the card. If she doesn't, it's beside the card, so we have to go fish then. So yeah, she doesn't have Pegasus, so I have to go fish. Now there's 10 sets of cards. But even if you tie with Betty, you still win, and thus you still get the prize. Yes. Now I'm ahead. in the lead with 4-0. I'm gonna beat her. I know it. Still in the lead 5-1. I'm gonna beat her. Yeah, she can take my scrolls. I'm still gonna beat her. I'm 6-1, so yeah, I'm still gonna win. Yeah, take the sad faces. I still win. So just pay up, Betty.
Right, Betty, pay up.
Wonder what this is for. Well, we'll find out later. Let's see if the food has come yet.
That must be the food I ordered. Looks like Pinky and Perky is turkey. I knew that. This smells delicious. And Uncle Fred and Johnny Butter are just plain old bread and butter. I can use my Johnny Butter to grease up that lock outside Jane's room.
Yeah, let's take it. Oh, maybe we can use this turkey to feed that plant. So we can see the paper underneath it.
I'm stuffed.
Okay, there. Cockney rhyming slang. So Uncle Fred, Johnny Redder, like Nancy said, they're just bread and butter. So now that we have the Johnny Rudder, let's put it in the lock here and see what puzzle awaits us.
This'll loosen things up in there.
All right. If you remember the poem that's in Jane's room that Charles wrote, I haven't memorized it, but there are keywords in there that correspond to these tiles here. We have to line them up the order that they appear in the poem. So here, some items are pretty obvious, but others are symbolic of something, like this man lifting a boulder is symbolism of strength. This is a symbol of charity. Folly, the jester is that symbol of folly. So it has to go from the line. From as the moon rises upon thee, the secrets of the world shall dawn in thy soul. The dawn showing symbolic with this sun. So it goes from bottom left to bottom right. That's the correct sequence. So I'm gonna first get the pieces down in here, first two pieces down here, and then try to rearrange the rest of the tiles. Okay. Okay, I got those two in place correctly. Okay, I think I got them all now, then. Just slide them in the correct place. I think, for me, the trick is just picking the first couple at the beginning, maybe at the right, and put them in places, their proper place, and just, well, slide them with so many spaces between each correct tile to make it easy to put them in their right place. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just I've practiced this from playing it over the years so many times, but there it is now, and I get this. Well, no one knows the password on the computer, so I'm going to ask Jane.
Hi, Nancy.
Do you know what the password is for the computer in the library?
Yes, but I won't tell. Not unless you beat me at Skull and Bones. My friend Hugo bought this for me. It's like Go Fish, but you have to collect 3 of a kind of weird things like zombies and ghosts. You go first.
Okay, just like that game in the Great Hall, you have to get 3 of a kind to win, and get the most hands to win. But even if you tie with Jane, you still win.
Do you have any skulls?
Sorry.
And she'll give you the
Your
password.
witches, please?
All yours.
Any bones?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any zombies? Here you go. Do you have any haunted houses? Here you go. Do you have any bats?
Sorry. Would you happen to have any ghosts?
Go dig. Do you have any coffins?
Nada. Any bones?
Afraid not. Do you have any ghosts? Here you go. Do you have any skulls? Here you go. Do you have any coffins?
Sorry. Any bones?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any spiders?
Nada. Your witches, please?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any haunted houses? Here you go.
I got a match.
Do you have any zombies?
Dig. Any bones?
Go dig. Do you have any tombstones? Here you go. Do you have any ghosts?
Dig. Any bats?
All yours.
Drat.
A match?
Yeah,
You're doing
and Nancy
great.
will tell us when Jane has a match so we know how we
All yours.
get
A
her.
match?
Uh-oh, now she's
You're
ahead of
doing
us.
great.
Any bones?
Get out your shovel. Do you have any tombstones?
Go dig. Any bones?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any spiders? Here you go.
All right, now we
I
got a match.
Do you have any ghosts?
Sorry.
That's a match.
All right.
Do you have any skulls?
All yours. You got a match. Good for you.
Any bones?
Afraid not. A match? You're doing great. Do you have any zombies? Here you go. I got a match. Do you have any tombstones?
Dig.
I got a match.
All right, now we should be good.
Would you happen to have any ghosts?
I win.
All right.
You won. Good job. Okay, the password for my grandfather's computer is on his coat of arms, plain as day.
I should get going.
Come back soon.
We've done all we can to tonight, so I'm just gonna set the alarm to wake up the next day. Let's set it for 2 o'clock, because that's when Jane is done with her lessons, and we can do some more talking to her if we need to. What the heck?
What is that?
maybe I'd better have a look around.
What the heck? I heard that cackling sound, but was this the lady in black?
I wonder if these are what made those red eyes I saw outside the night I arrived.
Yeah, I bet so, because I don't think anything really exists that has red eyes like that. Well, since we're up, let's go to Alan's computer, because there's a game we can play on it, but it's only, able to play during the early morning hours. Okay, so Alan's password is here. Yeah, so these are Penvillans who have lived at Blackmore Manor. This is Hugh, and this is Father Alan. Here is Eleanor. Notice, curiously, this one doesn't have a coat of arms beneath his portrait. So let's go now to Alan's computer. Pergamentum.
Welcome, my adventurous friend. Don't tell my sister, but there are ghosts in Blackmore Manor. 13 of them to be exact. The problem is they're very shy, so they only come out when it's very late at night, usually just after midnight, and even then they only show up in quiet places, like the Great Hall, and the hallways, and the conservatory. What's worse, they'll only come out for a very short period of time. But if you can find and touch all 13 ghosts in the time you're allotted, come back here, and I'll give you a prize, one which I guarantee you'll enjoy. So who's ready to go on a ghost hunt?
I am.
Remember, you mustn't waste any time. Our little chums won't stay visible for long. So, on your mark, get set, go!
Oh, haven't looked to see what the time is that we're allowed, but gotta move fast then.
Got one.
There are 3 in this area.
3 down, 10 to go.
Yes, there are a couple here in the conservatory. I've lost track of how many I've got so far, but when I get about 10, Nancy will say. So the rest are up here.
10 down, 3 to go.
Okay. That's 12. The 13th one is up here.
There, ghost number 13.
Let's go back to the computer.
Congratulations, you're one of the few people who have seen the 13 ghosts of Blackmore Manor. As a reward, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. But a word to the wise, if you're wearing a hat, hang on to it, have fun.
While I'm up, before I forget then, let's take that piece of turkey down here to the plant. Smiled. So Linda must reside in Blackmore Manor for 6 months in the first year of their marriage. Otherwise, the estate, Hugh won't get the entire estate. Alright, now let's go back to sleep and wake up at 2. Actually, let's wake up at 1, because if we pass Jane's room while she's still having her lessons, we'll hear a conversation between her and Ethel. And I can still do some things before I have to talk to Jane. What the heck?
What was that?
Scratch marks?
Scratch marks. Like something was trying to get into my room.
And it's... Oh, it's after 1. Well, late. I thought it was nighttime still.
He was Randolph's grandson and the first initiate. Odo did not have the proper qualities for Randolph's instruction.
Because he was stupid.
No, Jane. It's because Randolph believed that the proper qualities skip every generation. We talked about that, remember?
I guess.
Milo was a great soldier, just like his grandfather. And with his grandfather's help, he was victorious at Cannes.
That was a battle fought in 1417 during the 100 Years' War.
That's right.
But I don't understand something. The 100 Years' War lasted longer than 100 years, right? So why do they call it that? Why don't they call it the 116-year war? Huh?
Oh my, look at the time. We need to go over your geometry. Please open your book to page 46 and read silently.
Let's see if we can talk to Linda again.
Hi, Linda.
Nancy? I can't believe you're still here. I thought for sure that maybe you can help me.
I know I can help you. Just tell me what's wrong.
I haven't told anyone what I'm about to tell you. Mostly because what happened is all my fault. I should have listened, but I didn't.
What's all your fault?
One day, after Hugh left for Rome, I inadvertently discovered a secret passageway. I started to explore it. And pretty soon, I found this really old-looking message etched into the wall. When I read it, I realized it was some kind of ancient curse. I tried to laugh it off, but it was kind of unnerving. So I went back to my room and found a note on my nightstand. And on it was written the exact same curse. That very night, I started to feel strange. The curse has been coming true ever since.
Did anyone see you go into the passageway?
No, no one. You see, I've been warned not to go poking around. By Hugh, Mrs. Drake, Ethel. They all said the manor is old and dangerously decayed. So I made sure no one was watching. And even if someone did see me in the passageway, I went directly to my room afterwards. How could someone write down the exact same curse and get it into my room before I came back? No, something else did this. Something not human.
Where is the secret passageway?
I can't tell you that. I've already caused my own doom. I won't do the same to you.
Can you tell me what this curse said?
I burned it as soon as I read it. I don't know why I bothered telling you this. You can't do anything for me. I should have listened, but I didn't. And now what's done is done.
How well do you get along with Jane?
I've been giving it the old college try, believe me. But she can just be so strange sometimes.
Maybe she's just trying too hard to get you to like her.
That could be part of it, but she'll just do the oddest things. Like one night just after Hugh left, she came into my room and insisted I read a book to her.
That doesn't sound very odd to me.
The book was on monsters, vampires and werewolves and witches.
Oh, it must be that book in her room.
Girl reads books like that. She fits right into this house, that's for sure.
I'll see you soon.
I hope so.
Okay, so since Jane...
Just need to
Well, let's set it to 2 so then we can talk to her. Ask her about any secret passageways that exist. Any that she knows.
Very good. And now the close.
You know, if I leave for a sec, she might be gone.
Pay no attention to the bird behind the curtain.
Quote from Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You know, maybe if I go back up, she'll be there. Well, first let me see if I have anything to say to Nigel.
Fascinating piece, isn't it? James Penville sculpted it in 1591, although it appears that wand was added at a later date. He was quite a flamboyant figure and never married. But one day, a child appeared quite mysteriously in the castle, and he took her in as his own. That was Eleanor, and many of the townfolk believed her to be a changeling or fairy baby.
Interesting.
Hello, Nancy.
Have you seen any ruins anywhere in the manor?
You mean like Norse runes? No, I haven't. I don't really know much about them anyway. Dead languages aren't really my bag, you know.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Goodbye.
It should be good to talk to Jane now.
Hi, Nancy.
Have you ever seen these before?
No, what are they?
I was hoping you could tell me. I found them in the hallway.
I've never seen those before in my life.
Now, it's an interesting thing that
Have you ever
I
heard anything
found those
strange
because
that sounds like
when you play the game,
No.
it's more optional. It could happen. You may or may not find them, and that lady in black who walks by dropping them.
Do you know of
It's
any
not
secret
doesn't always
passageways
happen
in the
whenever you
manor?
play
I
it.
found one, but all it did was lead to this funny picture.
But at
Do you
least
think you could show me where the
having
passageway is?
them that appear shows like that they were just fake red eyes.
Bored. If I play a game with you, will you tell me where the secret passageway is?
Okay. I got this at the
Oh, look, another nod to Beach Hill in Secret of the Scarlet Hand, the bull game.
Take the hearts out of it.
Well, I know how to play, so I
It's really
know
easy
the
to
rules.
play. You roll a corn and move your warrior the number of dots on the corn. If no dots, then you get to move 5 spaces. You get 2 turns, but you can pass on your second turn. You just keep on going down this track, and you can capture my person if you land on him. Whoever gets all the warriors wins. I'll be blue. Here we go.
Okay, I think I'll pass.
I pass.
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 I pass.
Oh, darn.
Another warrior bites the dust.
You can go.
Pass.
Eh.
You can go.
Pass.
I pass.
Your turn.
All right.
Oh no.
So I gotta capture all 4 of her warriors to win.
Your turn. Pass.
You can go.
Pass.
I pass.
You can go. Your turn. You can go.
I pass.
Pass.
All right.
Oh no.
Eh.
Your turn. Your turn. Your turn. Pass. Your turn.
It's very rare for me to get move 5 spaces at once, as in no dots on the corn.
You can go. Pass. You can go. Your turn. I pass. Pass. You can go. Pass. I pass. Pass. I pass. Pass. You can go. You can go. I pass. Pass.
Darn, I want us to.
You can go.
So we can.
Pass. I pass. You can go. Your turn. Pass. I pass. Pass.
Ugh.
You can go. You can go. You can go. Pass. I pass. You can go. I pass. Pass. I pass. Pass. I pass. Your turn. I pass. Your turn. I pass. Pass. I pass. Pass. I pass. Pass. I pass. Pass.
We're not passing over each other, so capture a warrior so we can end this.
You can go. I pass. Your turn. I pass. Oopsie.
At least that ends it.
I pass. You can go. All right.
Finally.
I pass. Your turn. I pass. You can go. Right.
Finally.
You lucked out that time.
Yeah.
Okay, I found the secret passageway in the East Hall. That's the hall with the coat of arms on the door. But it's not a very exciting secret passageway. You're going to be totally bored. Wouldn't you rather play a game with me instead?
The East Hall is locked. Do you know how I can get in it?
My great aunt took the key. She probably thought I'd break something in there. But I found another one. Here, you can keep it if you want.
Alright.
I should get going.
Toodles!
Alright, let's use this to open the door.
The winner is Nuno.
Now, you want to notice, like, the coat of arms. The coat of arms here has the item, pictures going in different directions. And
The hands move.
the direction that those images are, that these is what the hands on the dragon have to go. So it's right, down, down, that stays up, right, and right. Alright. Okay, yeah, that's left, actually. My mistake. Oh, but look.
If I want to look around in there, I'm going to need a flashlight.
Oh, and remember in the message in Alan's computer said, facing the green dragon, pull the lever down beneath the vase with the tree. Whee! Oh, look, there was a bullseye there. Maybe if we hit it with something, we'll get something else. So, let's take this ball.
I could try to hit the bullseye I saw when I went down that slide with a cricket ball.
But first, let's ask Jane if she has a flashlight or any kind of light source.
So, did you find what you were looking for in that secret passageway?
Let's just say you live in a very interesting house.
I don't want to hear. It's so scary to think people can be looking about behind these walls. But you shouldn't tell anyone about them either. If you do, they'll probably close them off and say they're too dangerous.
Do you have a flashlight?
A flashlight? Oh, Nancy, flashlight is an American term. In the UK, we call it a torch. I don't have one, but I do have a whole bunch of glow sticks. If you want one, you have to play a game with me. That's the rule. This is a game I bought in Arizona.
Oh, Arizona, Petroglyph Punch. Immediate previous game, Secret of Shadow Ranch, took place there with petroglyphs as being part of puzzles. Alright, gotta get enough matches before the timer runs out. I'm gonna shuffle again. Oh, here's enough. When you get 3 in a row, you get immediate points, but if you can line up more, you'll increase your time. Okay, that's not by much. I have to try again. Okay, yeah. If you had 5 in a row, I'd get, like, over 30 seconds, I think. Extra time. Just one more. Alright!
Hooray! You've won! Here's your glow stick. If this one goes out, I'll let you play for another one.
Do you want to play a game?
That would be lovely. Which game would you like to play? I have a fun astronomy game. Look inside the chest over there and pick a game. My great aunt said it's a hope chest, so I put my games in there in the hope someone would come over to play. We can play Bull, Constellation Match, Petroglyph Punch, Skull and Bones, and I also have a jigsaw puzzle.
You sure have a lot of games.
I love games. I want to make computer games when I grow up.
Felicity, enough!
look like a curse? Barber, and a picture of a parrot. I wonder if Lulu has something to do with this.
Well, let's go ask her.
Polly is a stupid bird. Polly is a stupid bird. Hello. Ah!
Does the word barber mean anything to you?
What's the magic word?
Please?
Sorry, that is incorrect. Lulu wants
Magic word, magic word, magic word, magic word. Ideals, ideal.
The word annoying comes to mind.
Sorry, that is
You don't go
incorrect.
ding when someone gives you an incorrect answer. You go psst, as in like a buzzer.
Okay. I guess I'll go try to figure out what the magic word is.
Cheerio. Cheerio.
Pay no
Attention to the bird behind the curtain. Let's go ask Mrs. Drake what it is. No, I went so fast, but at least I can save it to know that I got a third saying of hers, of her talking to her plants.
Yes?
Do you know anything about Lulu's magic word?
Magic word? Oh, yes. You see, my brother and grandfather would play a word game with Lulu. I never understood how it was played, but they'd play for hours. Lulu would sometimes grow sullen and refuse to play the game anymore unless they told her that... what was it that they'd have to tell her? It's perched on the tip of my tongue. Ah, they had to tell Lulu that she was a very, very clever and beautiful bird.
Do you believe that Blackmore
Magic
Manor
word,
is haunted?
magic words, I
Of course
think.
not. I've lived here for many, many years, and I can tell you without a doubt that absolutely no ghosts walk these halls. An occasional odd creak here and there, yes, but no ghosts. But I do sometimes wonder if those who have passed away remain with us, lingering on. I miss my brother terribly, and I sometimes wonder if he's in some way still here.
Would you have a torch that I could borrow?
No, I'm afraid not. Jane ruined all of ours with some sort of experiment she cooked up. But I believe she may have some of those glow sticks for illumination.
Goodbye.
The pleasure is all mine, child.
All right. Now let's... Oh, got another phrase. Okay, let's tell Lulu her magic word, or rather magic words.
Top of the morning to you, maybe.
I know the magic word.
Magic word, what's a word, what's a magic word?
Lulu is a very, very clever and beautiful bird.
Clever and beautiful. How true, clever and beautiful.
Easy, Lulu. You're hurting my ears.
Oh, what's your word?
Barber.
Please. Please.
So we'll put in
Bye,
leech
No.
for that word. Before I do that, let's go down the slide again to see if I can hit that target with the ball I picked up. All right. Huh, some kind of clock piece. Now let's go in and do the secret passageway.
Felicity, the door.
So you have an asterisk there at the end because if to show like that's the end of the word, that you don't need the 6th space, or just to occupy the spaces that aren't needed because of the word. Now the rest of the words actually you can figure out on your own. I mean, if you want to ask Lulu, it's a kind of a trying thing. You have to she'll want you to make cakes for her and repeat. Lulu is a very, very clever and beautiful bird, so I'm just going to show you what the answers are, because just think of them as word association. So what usually goes with picture? Well, picture book, and because that's book, I had to put in the asterisk after the 4th letter. Baby bonnet. So that's least those, it's not hard to do, and you have good clues, especially because the words go up to 6 letters, so that's hourglass then. Ant hill. All right.
It looks like the rest of this grid is on the other side of the wall.
Well, and so remember that picture image paper clipping I found in that book by John Penvillin. It looks like the triangles are right side up, and that's what we need to do. That's the fire symbol, which always, that's what that looks like here. So there must be another side to this that we need to do. But first, let's go now tell Linda what we found. Ethel! Scared me.
Right. What were you doing in there? I found a secret passage off of the East Hall. So I suspected. These old homes usually have a secret passageway too. But I must insist that you no longer play in these areas. They can be extremely dangerous. But I'm curious about where they lead. Well, we wouldn't want you to end up like the proverbial cat, would we, Nancy? Please heed my warning. It would be terrible if something happened to you. What you're teaching Jane looks pretty rigorous, but interesting. I believe young people need to have a well-rounded education and learn what every other Pendleton should know. Have you seen a book in Jane's room called The Nudist Leaper? Yes, the silent book. It's quite fascinating and very old. Jane's grandfather left it with me to give to her. It almost seems as if it's telling some kind of story. Yes, but a long-lost story whose meaning will probably never be understood. Have you ever heard the legend about the beast of Blackmore? Of course. Everyone who grows up in these parts knows it. But it's just a myth. One that unfortunately proved to be quite damaging to the Pendletons. Damaging to the Pendletons? Well, yes. Eleanor Pendleton was executed because the villagers believed that she had created the beast. Things cannot get much more damaging than that. Do you know much about the Pendleton family history? Only that they were a very well-respected and talented family. Many of my ancestors were tutors of some of the Pendletons, and I feel very honored to continue that tradition. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Goodbye, Nancy.
Yeah, these are really the only times we get to speak to Ethel. We never have a sit-down conversation with her like we do with other characters. Oh, Linda's crying. Let's tell her about the passageway.
Linda, I found the secret passageway. Jane told me where it is, but I didn't see any curse in there.
How could you have missed it? It was right there, just waiting to be found, wanting to be found. I can't believe how foolish I was. That stupid gargoyle. I hated how its evil eyes would stare at me whenever I walked to my room. So I moved it around, changed its position, kept fiddling with it. But when that secret door suddenly opened, I couldn't resist going in it.
Which gargoyle is this?
What do you mean, which gargoyle?
Must be the gargoyle outside her room.
So there's more than one. Linda,
I mean, it's the only gargoyle close enough to activate a passageway, and so that no one could see her going in, because the other two are out. One's in that other passageway she didn't find.
She's cursed me, and she's probably cursed you too.
I'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Well, let's go to it.
I'll bet that's the gargoyle Linda was talking about. And it looks just like the one in that painting I saw. Something tells me I better not mess with this until I know what I'm doing.
Let's go talk to Nigel about it.
Hello, Nancy.
What do you think of Ethel Bosney?
I think she's or not that one. She has no formal background in pedagogy or scholarship. I would be a much better influence on Jane were I her tutor, but Mrs. Drake insists on employing Ethel.
Who is the man in the great hall with a gargoyle?
That's Corbin Pendleton, born in 1670 and died in 1741, I believe. He was Eleanor's grandson and spent his life in France. It was rumored that he secretly returned to Blackmore to continue his grandmother's experiments in the mystical arts.
Where can I find his coat of arms?
I didn't realize you were so interested in Pendleton history. I'd be happy to show you his coat of arms, but I'm in dire need of a typist. Perhaps, if you can help me out, I can find that which you seek.
It's a deal. What do you want me to do?
Perhaps first we should see how fast you type. This program will rate your speed. Just type the characters that appear on the screen. If you're good enough, I'll let you type up my memoirs, and then I'll let you see the coat of arms.
Alright, what I do is I slam slide my hand across the keyboard, because if you try to do, like, the keys that characters that pin up individually, just as in type one by one, you're gonna lose time. Yeah, you see, you're gonna lose time if you do it just individually, because they can disappear as quickly as they appear, so just, do.
Excellent score. Now, here's what I'd like you to type up. These are my memoirs. I think you'll find them quite interesting.
Oh, you do, huh?
These are the most boring memoirs I've ever read in my life. Phew, done. Finally. I feel like I've been typing forever. Nigel! Nigel!
Alright, he's gone. It's, 3 a.m. But here's... Okay, the coat of arms is the key to opening up the passageway using the gargoyle, which I'll do now. Huh, it's dark here. What's going on?
What are they doing?
Oh yeah, my actual
What are they doing? Some kind of initiation ritual?
That was a little creepy.
That it was.
We're almost. You did very well. But remember, this must remain a secret. Do not discuss it with anyone. Yes, Ethel. And don't forget, you have a math exam tomorrow. Yes, Ethel. And be sure to brush your teeth. Yes, Ethel. Good night.
Alright. What? Ah,
Like oil.
no fire without oil, so that's what it is. Now, let's open up the gargoyle. So, coat of arms, as I said, is the key. That means 2 right, 1 left, 1 right, 2 left, 1 right. This must be the curse, then.
Only the blameless shall pass here. All others shall transform into beasts. Tooth and nail shall grow long, and hair shall turn coarse, till their aspect be as loathsome as their cold hearts. Prove thy worthiness, and memorialize here the innocent one so wrongly condemned for saving lives. Else consider thyself right and truly cursed.
Eleanor. So we have to put in her name using ancient runes. So let's put it in. Here's the other side of it. So we have to put them all up again. But doing that must have set back the others, so we gotta do that, try it again.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Uh,
Pay no attention to
most
the
famous
bird.
quote from Jaws, you're gonna need a bigger boat. Alright, now it opened up. So I got the other side, and I wanted to make sure I got it before the glow stick expired because I
Looks
you
like
get
won't be
this.
any more of Jane's glow sticks.
Alright, before I forget, here's something we need to look at.
I'm at the bottom of the well.
What's this? Oh, something from Jane's uncle. Okay, that's the only time then we can go in it because what's on here is the puzzle.
Simon knew to sleeper. I'm supposed to press the button under the blue triangles I want to move. Then press the one under the group I want to move them to, until I wind up with a group of just 4 triangles.
Okay, we do that by putting the 5 in there and then 3 in here, the 3 here, 2 in there. Then we put that in, we'll get rid of 1, and we're left with 4 triangles. And so that'll turn the water back on in the well. So that's why we can't open the door now, because if we do, it'll cause a flood to happen. But now we need to know where to go with this.
Oh my gosh, the room is moving.
Yeah, this was not one of my favorite puzzles as a kid. In fact, I hated... didn't like the game this much for a long time because of this puzzle. I don't know how long it took me to get through it, but I did. Well, the trick is then, this... Not exactly the most helpful, I think, but this is a map. The red circle shows where you are. What you want to notice is there's an angel symbol here, and that's the fire symbol. These are the good places to go. When it's devil's horns there, you can see on those stick figures where you don't want to be, because then it'll be buckling floors and you'll die if you go onto it. But let me show you how you know to get to the correct place. Now, this is a Mercury symbol, I think. Still haven't memorized all the symbols, what they mean on the doors in this game. Okay, but the easiest thing I can remember is that this Mercury symbol looks like devil's horns, which means that, as according to map, we're right here on a bad floor, so we don't want to go there. But if I just open these doors, but back up and don't go through them, I should be in a good spot now. So the angel shows that's the next place we want to go, because if we're back here, that's the doors through which we came with the fire symbols. So let's just go through it now. We can't go through here because we need to know the meaning of this snake.
Will help me figure out what the others mean.
Okay, and then to go back, just the easy thing, I'll just step away and not go through the doors. But here, if we're right here, now we're back at a bad floor. So if I just do repeat what I just did, she'd be back at the fire doors now. Let's go through the second entrance through which I came, because it's easier to do. Less to explore. I mean, less than getting back through the other half. But before I go back in, I want to show you this peephole. See into Linda's room. Oh my word. Alright, well, it's pretty late though now, so let's get some sleep and we'll ask Nigel about that snake symbol in the morning.
And from now on, just bring me what I asked for.
A healthy digestive system cannot do without rough food.
Yes.
Okay, here's another optional scene that may or may not happen whenever you play, every time you play the game. Mrs. Drake putting some kind of charm on Linda's door, above Linda's door.
Looks like some sort of charm.
Yes,
Do you know what the symbol of a snake eating its tail signifies?
the Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
It's a very old image and is usually associated with alchemy. You really do come up with the strangest questions, Nancy.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Tally-ho!
And I almost forgot. Now that the well's turned back on, let's go check it out. All right. And look. Oh, it's a game based on that children's book by John Penvillin.
Based on that children's
We have to get to the other side, frog to the other side with the princess. But yeah, see, this is almost always random when you choose. Sometimes alligators might be in that spot. Or is it crocodiles? Finally. Alright, so let's go back to that door down past the moving rooms. But here I want to look at this. It'll tell me about a new internet page. Tells me about alchemy symbols in order to safely get through that door, open up that door. Okay, I'm just gonna go through and do exactly what I did before. Back. Do it again. There we go. Okay, now what we have to do is, by knowing the alchemy symbols, knowing what the big square with the symbol, what it says, and how to create it, what ingredients to use the mixture, make the correct mixture. Alright, so the first mixture is aquafortis, so that goes with, made by vitriol and nitra, and then you click the cauldron to mix it, so it's correct, so then it goes up. This next one is aquafortis, so I'm going to click Spirit of salt 3 times. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And vitriol nitra. That's correct. So now that's mercury. So then I hit cinnabar. Let's see. Cinnabar and the fire symbol. This one is distilled vinegar, so I click on vinegar and distillation. Then this last one's a bit complicated. It's liquor hepatis. So it's click on sulfur. Quicklime. Salmonic and distillation. All right. And wow, I'm in some kind of lab.
This looks like some kind of medieval forge. This looks like some kind of ancient room. Looks like a chunk of metal. You're one big drink of water, aren't you? Wow, this letter was written more than 200 years ago.
Wow, so if this are for the Penvillin initiates. Each Penvillin grandchild is initiated to help protect the treasure. Oh, there's the last one by Alan. So that means, yeah, Jane is being initiated for her place then to protect the family treasure, since she's the next Penvillin grandchild.
Whoa, sounds like the big guy out there.
Okay, so we have to get this big guy to swallow up all those different places of air. It's gonna those locations of north, south, east, and west wind. Yeah, and you don't want to land on the black squares, because then they'll just send you right back to home base. And this is always completely random, so sometimes even on the first click you may get wind may send you back to black square and you have to go back to start. I always try to get the south wind last, because it usually interferes the most with where I can land to try to catch the others, and could send me back home. So, alright, I got them all. And what that does is send air to the forge. But there's no key around here. Maybe that's what needs to be forged. And there's something else we need to look at in here. Okay, I haven't seen this yet, but I know where it is. Okay, those hands are right here in this little spot.
I can see into the library. Maybe this was some kind of security system that Eleanor devised when she was helping Cromwell's enemies get out of the country.
So those are the bells they would hear. Okay, so we have to use these to turn the statue. First we click on statue's right index finger. Oh wait, we have to have this jewel pressed out, but first click on the right index finger like I did, because we have to make it face forward. And then we hit the left middle finger. Hopefully that'll release the wand. But we won't know for sure till we get there.
Hello?
Hi, it's Ned.
Hey, Ned, what's up?
I could say I've been studying and needed a break, but the truth is I've been dying to hear from you. What's going on there?
What isn't going on here?
Listening.
Well, for one thing, I discovered some kind of medieval alchemy lab.
Really? Where?
Under the manor. And I mean way under the manor. In fact, I may be the only one in this place who knows about it.
What's in it?
Well, I was hoping to find the fabled Pendleton treasure, but all there is in there is an old forge.
Forge? Isn't the thing you use to heat metal and make swords and stuff?
Right.
So what are you going to do now?
Well, actually, the forge looks like something I saw in this strange book Jane has in her room, which means I should probably check it out more thoroughly.
It probably hasn't been used for centuries.
That's the thing. It looks like it has been used recently. I mean, relatively recently. Certainly within the past 50 years or so.
What would someone be using a forge to make in this day and age?
There was also this big keyhole in the lab.
What about a key?
No key.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's what has to be forged.
The key that goes in that keyhole?
That'd be my guess.
I'll talk to you soon.
You better. Finance.
Okay, Jane's still in her lesson, so we can't get it yet, but in the meantime, I want to show you. Let's hopefully... Alright, we got it. And that's the last of these pieces of items we get around there. What we have to do with them is put them in these open spaces in the columns. And what this shows is pipes. And what we have to do is we have to turn the pipes so that they look like they're connecting with each other. So, try this one. Oh no, that's the moon. Yeah, so again, like, the center pipes will look a little different, but you have to connect them so they look like all the pipes are connected to each other. And then one more.
Sounds like I did something right.
Okay, one more thing we need to do. We have a couple more minutes before she ends it. In that journal down in the lab, Corbin Penvlin had an entrance that said there are 3 gargoyles, and we must use the wand to touch each of the gargoyles to help lighting the forge. So using the mercury wand, we have to click on them, and you hear that ticking sound because we have a limited time. Like it said, time is of the essence. So then,
This wand probably works through magnets.
and then there's that last one downstairs. Now let's see what happens. Whoa!
Whoa.
We just light the
I
forge.
just succeeded in lighting the forge.
So yeah, the key is what needs to be forged, and what we're gonna need to do is...
By pulling out different plugs, I can create different patterns in the mold.
But how do we know? Well, we're gonna find it in the Mutus Liber. Just give it another minute. Jane should be done with her lessons. So there's no portrait of... There isn't a portrait of all of the original Penvillans, so... But they have their coat of arms with a unique symbol on them. Okay, it's 2 o'clock now. Let's go look at the Mutus Liber book again. Well, let's maybe take a moment to talk to Nigel and get the...
Ah, there you are. I'm sorry to inform you that I shall soon be leaving Blackmore. I just have a few things to take care
he
of,
must
and
think
then I
it's
shall
haunted because of the statue moving. He was
Where are
freaked
you
out
going?
by it.
I have good reason to believe this place is genuinely haunted. There's no way I'm staying here 1 minute longer than I have to. Thankfully, I've finished most of my research and have enough to start my book.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Tally-ho!
So he covered it, just so he won't see it again.
I'll bet this book can help me figure out how to get that old forge going again. And maybe even how to find the Pendleton treasure.
Okay, the significance is right here, because see, it looks like the mold will... each has a unique symbol in it. Well, so what you do is you pull the plugs to have holes left in the mold, and you have to know that by knowing the symbols, what it from some of the same coat of arms may have the same symbols, but what the purpose is to have them look like the crosses or the lines that cross, or parallel crosses and lines on that flank the Latin phrases on the coat of arms. So, for example, Corbin's coat of arms, yes, is a significant one. Several of coat of arms may have this sun star symbol, but some of them may not have lines on them, so you know you don't use that. So this one corresponds to this plug down here, so I pull those two so that those are what the lines look like, instead of a straight lines that are just across from each other. It's hard for me to explain how to do, but they have to look like the lines from the coat of arms that have those symbols as according to that chart in the Mutus Liber book. So I'm just gonna pull them all right now. And when you have that metal which has been melted put into the mold, then you'll have the key. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. What's this? And okay, now we're at towards the end of the game. Oh, so air's been gone to the forge, and I lit it. So now this.
Wow, molten metal.
Let me make sure if I pulled all the right plugs. So when I pour this in, Nancy will say if it's correct.
There, that looks right.
So let's put it in. Find out what the treasure is.
Whatever you just found is mine. I'm the pendant and not you. Besides, I would have
Jane?
found it before you did if I didn't have to sit there all day learning all that other silly rubbish. What is that?
Looks like a meteorite.
To me, like a meteorite.
A rock? 600 years of secrets and mystery and puzzles, all because of a stupid rock? No way. There must be something under it.
No, don't touch it!
Oh! Lucky, help me! It's blocking our troops and breathing. Get me out of here, please! I'm sorry I was thinking before. I'm sorry for everything.
What do you mean by everything?
It's my fault, Mrs. Fix. I mean, it's not really fix. I just made it tasty. I left that testing in there and gave her allergy shake and put her medicine in a moisturizer.
I can think of one reason why.
Why? I just wanted to stay away. I just wanted to be Daddy and me and Mommy, my real Mommy. Please don't make me talk anymore, Nancy.
So she's still upset by her parents' divorce and wants them to get back together.
I've got to figure out a
Well,
way to get that box off of her.
I know one way. Use this big guy.
Dear Ned, well, there is a beast of Blackmore. Jane. She made poor Linda think she was turning into a monster by putting her uncle's hair restorer in Linda's moisturizer. She also slipped Mrs. Drake's allergy pills into Linda's food so she'd feel woozy all the time. An extremely dangerous thing to do. Needless to say, Jane's father was very upset, especially when he found out Jane had done it because she still wants him and her real mother to get back together. After Jane apologized to Linda, and Hugh apologized to both of them, they all resolved to do whatever it takes to become a real family. As for Blackmore Manor, ever since I told him about all the passageways and gadgetry I discovered, Hugh has become fascinated with his family history and has asked, no, ordered Ethel to teach him what she's taught Jane. And while he doesn't believe for a second that the meteorite in that old alchemy lab has magical powers, he has encouraged Jane to come up with a puzzle to help ensure its safekeeping, just as initiates have been doing for centuries. Which reminds me, the Pendulums swarm to secrecy when it comes to all their traditions. So don't tell anybody any of this, okay? Nigel suspected something was up when he came to get his laptop and has been hounding me ever since. This is just the kind of stuff he'd love to include in that unauthorized tell-all he's trying to write. If he calls me one more time, I'm telling on him. To Mrs. Drake. That'll teach him. Ever yours, Nancy.
So I got this is my Sassy Award. Sassy Detective Award. Preview for the next game, Secret of the Old Clock, which takes place in 1930. It's different from the rest of the games. Well, that's probably because that was when Nancy Drew was first created.
A 16-year-old detective will go on to inspire hope in the hearts of young girls and kisses upon the lips of evildoers everywhere. Her name?
Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew.
So there you have it with my walkthrough of Curse of Blackmoor Manor. Yes, this is another history mystery, which involves treasure finding, although not traditional treasure in the sense of most others, but can't really say if this is one of my most favorites because some of the puzzles I really hated, what with, like, on the alchemy lab door, and especially the moving rooms. I mean, it was a nightmare for me when I first played this game as a kid. I can tell you that when it got to the end, I was quite shocked that the culprit turned out to be Jane. I never suspected her of anything wrong, but then again, that makes her the first culprit, you know, not to go to jail, because it wasn't necessarily a crime that had been committed, but just a child who's still deeply upset over her parents' divorce and wants the stepmother to go away, just to reunite her parents. Notice here at the end it's playing the same music that was played during Nancy's letter voiceover narration. It's only if you play the game longer than you should will you find out that this is called, although it's mentioned on Jane's schedule, the Ballad of Bridget. And you'll hear at one point, if you play the game longer, as I was trying to say, Ethel and Jane singing it. But I never usually stick around to listen to it, except to hear this music of it during the end credits. So, again, that's it for my walkthrough of Nancy Drew Curse of Blackmoor Manor. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.